This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Hello, everyone. This is Kenny Lilly from Do the Math 24/7's Math Talk. Thank you again for joining our episode. We have a great guest today, Mr. Demitry Lasu. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I'm excited about the interview.
Oh, I am beyond excited being here today.
Now, before we go into the interview, I first want to quickly just break down my company, Do the Math 24/7. So Do the Math 24/7 is a company with a positive message on respect, unity, and equality. We break down our message using the 5 basic math symbols. So for add self-respect. Add empathy. For subtract bullying, subtract injustice. For multiply love, multiply understanding. For divide, it's indivisible. Even though we're divided at times, we're ultimately struggling, we're unified as one. Equal stands for equality, and 24/7 stands for all the time. So there you go, Do the Math 24/7. Now, there's several different ways in which we spread our positive message. We have a podcast, Math Talk Podcast. We have a character building school program, and we also have a anti-bully program. We have a apparel line, and then we also have action figures. We are a community partner with Des Moines Public Schools, Ankeny Community School District, CFAM, which is Children and Family Urban Movement, as well as Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Iowa. So again, there you go, Do the Math 24/7. So Mr. Demitry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Yes. So we met probably about 2 months ago?
About so.
Yeah, probably about 2 months ago, through a mutual friend, Mr. Peter, that's part of Bricks Legacy. Let's shout out to Oak Ridge and shout out to Bricks Legacy. They're doing awesome things in that neighborhood. Definitely check them out. But Peter's actually over Bricks Legacy, and that's how you guys kind of worked together in the past. And then we've been kind of messaging back and forth. Mm-hmm. And then through Instagram, we decided just kind of link up for coffee. So we just kind of met up one day at Smoky Row on a Saturday, just kind of had some coffee and just had great conversation, It
was phenomenal.
Yeah, and, just through the conversation, I'm like, you know what? I got my next guest. I think I got my next guest. Really, I just wanted to just to chop it up and just have coffee and just kind of know where you're coming from and know more about your story, and as well as your apparel line, which we're going to be talking about today. It was just the conversation that just enticed me to just let's kind of further this, Yeah. So let's give us a quick bio, a little bit about you.
Absolutely. So my name is Demitry Lasu. I was born in Sudan, East Africa. Lived there until 2001. Then I moved to Egypt. I lived there until 2003. And I moved to Kentucky, March of 2003 from Africa. Lived in Kentucky ever since. It was such a beautiful experience living in Kentucky. And then I just been traveling, living in Kentucky all the way until 2016, then moving here to Iowa. But man, all of those journey, moving from one location to another have been so beautiful. Learning about people, seeing different culture, learning about different people in different background, and hearing different stories, and including learning different languages.
Right, come on.
So it was amazing, So growing up in Kentucky was phenomenal. Living there, making friends. Imagine moving to a country not speaking the language,
Wow, yeah.
And having to make friends. How do you make friends and you don't speak the language? How are you going to communicate,
Right.
Not knowing that I will be surrounded with people that are also in the same predicament that I was in. Not speaking the language, and also wanting to make friends but not knowing how to. So that to me was a beautiful experience, building a relationship without the language barrier. Mm-hmm. We pretty much taught ourselves how to speak English, 7 months to 8 months in living in the States with some of the kids that I grew up with. We ended up learning the language. Mm-hmm. which was amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of my bio. Being from East Africa, being a child of an immigrant, and traveling, the world, seeing different part of the world, seeing different cultures, learning more about different cultures. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how does that feel knowing that, kind of going back to Brick's legacy, how, a lot of people within the Oak Ridge are immigrants. So how did that hit home for you, and what made you want to be a part of that?
So honestly, let me give you a quick rundown of how me and Peter actually met. So I go to Valley Church. My wife, she's the one that introduced me to Valley Church back in 2019, 2020. And then Peter is friends with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Peter would come to Valley also. So I knew him through my brother-in-law. And this one time, it was after service, we were chopping it up in the lobby. And I always had interest in coaching or starting a basketball program for kids that come from a different background that don't have the right resources to actually play for these big name AAU. But for me wanting to start that in Iowa, at the time I was still fairly new to Iowa. I didn't know enough people to actually build that. So I was talking to him, and he shared his interest and love in basketball. And I was like, interesting. Funny that you say that. We have something in common now. I have love for basketball, and I actually wanted to do something for the community. And he was like, you know what? Right now, I am in the process of running a nonprofit organization called Brick's Legacy. And at the time, I wanted to share the idea of him coming to join me for the team that I wanted to make. So I saw it as soon as he told me about Brick's Legacy. I immediately stopped the idea of me wanting to bring him to my program. I was like, you know what? We don't need to have all these different programs that's going to serve the same community. Immediately, I was like, you know what? We're going to join force. I'm going to be 110% behind you. Yeah. This is for the community. This is not for me. This is not for you. This is for the kids and for the community. And ever since we built that relationship, and through him, I got to meet majority of the people from Oak Ridge and majority of the Sudanese community that I know now. It was through him. So meeting Peter opened so much door for me, and I'm beyond grateful for Peter. That brother is a blessing to me.
Yes.
Me and him, we still talk till this day.
Yeah.
There will be days we would talk for hours. Sometimes when things are not going well for me, I can call many different people, including my dad. But no, I rather call Peter, because Peter will point out if I'm wrong, but at the same time, it'll be like, Demitry, you know what? You're better than this. Or, you know what? Sometimes you're right. You need to crash out every now and then. So I understand. So having him as that little brother that's always listening, always willing to listen, and always willing to share, and always willing to pray for anyone who needs it. Peter put people first more than his own self. And that's one thing that I love about Peter. He's not that selfish. Yeah.
So how does that tie into and just overall, your makeup as far as where you were raised, living in Kentucky, right? Transitioning to Kentucky, and just being in the community out here. How did that all kind of tie into your apparel line, Divergent Family?
So, living in Kentucky, of course, I grew up around diverse community. I grew up around people from Pakistan. I grew up around people from India. I grew up around people from Cuba. So I had friends from almost any region. I had a friend from Bulgaria. We didn't speak English, but we were friends for the longest till this day. One of my good friend from childhood, his name is Nima. He's from Iran. Me and this brother are still friends till this day. We came to America around the same time. We didn't speak English, but just us being kids at that time, you know, being outside all of the time, playing together, we ended up became brothers, where majority, like during the summer, I would spend most of the time at his house or at my house. You know, like to his family, I became one of theirs. And to my family, he became one of ours. Mm-hmm. So that right there, experiencing that at a young age, it opened my eyes to accept people for who they are in the inside, not what they look like. You know, that in Kentucky is not such a big thing to where if you're from a different race, for example, in Kentucky, it still have a huge factor. If you drive like 15 minutes outside of Louisville.
We're talking about even now.
Yes.
Okay.
If you drive 15, 20 minutes outside of Louisville, there's a huge shift changes, you know, where you would see predominantly black or predominantly white. And if it's predominantly white, they look at you weird, you know. So I experienced that, and then moving to Iowa and then seeing the hospitality in Iowa, mm-hmm. you know, see how people are in Iowa, seeing the diverse, and everyone is Iowa is just one big community, as I would call it, a city full of strangers, but become a family by choice. And I fell in love with that. And the funny thing, before I moved to Iowa, just hearing the story about it, based off like some of the Sudanese community that lives here, because Iowa have one of the biggest Sudanese community in North America. So that it did have a negative impact on Iowa. So before I moved, I always used to tell my friends I would never move to Iowa. Iowa's the last place that I would move there. What am I going to do there?
You moving where?
Yeah, you know. But no, honestly, so to outsiders still this day from the Sudanese community, when they hear Iowa, the first thing that come to mind is that negative impact that they have of Iowa until you move here, and then that changes. Mm-hmm. To me personally, Iowa made me who I am today. If I never made that move to Iowa, I don't think I would be where I am today, or being the father that I am today, or being the husband that I am today, or being the believer that I am today. So Iowa, to me, just the diverse of it made me become the man that I am today. And the community base, it's so beautiful. I don't think anyone can experience that outside of Iowa. Like, sometimes people would ask me, are you ever planning on moving to a different state? Why? What is there? What am I trying to replace? You know? The people
other than the beach. I'm coming from Cali.
Maybe
Southern
the
California.
weather. Maybe I want to replace the weather. But other than that, everything that I love and enjoy so much is in this state, is in this city. Mm-hmm. Why would I go chase for something that it's already here?
It's already here.
You know? And a lot of people sometimes say, well, there's not much to do in Iowa. It's not that there's not much to do in Iowa. It's you and your surroundings. You limit yourself on what you can do in Iowa, but there's so much to do in Iowa. There's so much you can enjoy in Iowa if you just change your surroundings.
Right.
Be around the positive people.
Right.
You get to see some of the most beautiful things in Iowa.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Yeah. And I know that's when we were talking at coffee, that's kind of one of the core, values of your of your apparel line is family, right? And it goes beyond blood, right?
Yes.
You know, you might want to break that down quickly.
So yeah, definitely. So with my apparel line, Divergent Family, but people call it Divergent. So now I just settle with
That's
you know, everyone calls it Divergent. So I guess we're going to start calling it Divergent Family. Really, it started just from me connecting with Peter and running Brick's Legacy. When we were running Brick's Legacy, I got to see how many people were behind us, supporting us. It wasn't, they didn't have to be specifically Sudanese, but everyone in the city was behind us, 110%.
Right.
You know, I don't know, you know, the Fosters that run the Fosters group.
Yep, the Foster group.
Yes. So even Jerry Foster, he was behind us 110%. You know, he was willing to donate to make sure that we have what it takes to help these kids.
Right.
You know, so seeing how many people were willing to come together for the community.
As a family.
Yes. That right there, that touched me, you know, and ever since, everyone that I have met since then, they have become part of my family. I'm pretty sure when Peter was here last time, he did mention some of the name like Dean. You'll probably hear that name a lot anytime that you do a podcast interview with a Sudanese person. That name Dean. This guy named Dean, anything that have to do with the community, if you call him, he will be the first one there. And right now, me and Dean, we're brothers. You know, he's one phone call away. If anything happened, I call him, he'll be the first person there. You know, and I met him through Peter. We've been knowing each other for only 2 years. But when you see how me and him relationship is, you would think we've been knowing each other our entire life, you know, and that's the most beautiful thing that I got from it. And just that, you know, having the community always willing to come together, even though we have different background or we have different things, different career field that we're focused on. But one thing that we don't play about is when it came to the community and the kids within that community. We took it very serious and we came together. So with my brand, you will see Divergent Family, be different, act together. Right. That's what I mean by be different. You can have your own life and, you know, you can be an engineer, you can be a doctor, you can be a mechanic. But the moment it came to the community, we all acted together as one.
Yeah. You be unique in your own field, your own interests.
Right.
But act together.
Yes.
Act together.
To build.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm very big on acting together.
Because that's kind of like the foundation. Is the act together part. But then the be different is kind of the spreading, the different, you know, the diversity of opinions and different things like that and what they bring to the table. But the act together, I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking for, you know, but the act together kind of seems like that's the foundation of.
It is.
Okay.
It is. So just, again, so as being different, but then we came together for that and we moved as a unit and we saw the beautiful thing that came out from it. That clicked in my head.
Okay.
What happened? The possibility is endless once we actually act together.
Act together.
We become a unit.
Right.
You can't stop a unit.
Right.
You can stop an individual, but a unit, it's hard.
Right. No, that's good. Yeah. Man, you already answered a lot of these questions, man. Okay, so let me ask you this. What's one lesson you've learned about your business or yourself while building this brand?
Oh, man. It's not one, it's actually three.
Okay.
Three things that I've learned is definitely commitment, dedication, and patience. I thought I was patient before, but this tested me. The commitment, let me just share some intel on how that commitment came about. So when I first started everything, when I was just brainstorming the idea, working on different concept,
It's okay. You can point to the hat too. By the way, this is his hat, you guys, and this is his T-shirt is one of his apparel. So I just want to make sure. I think
everything that I'm wearing is actually my brand, except the socks and the shoes. But the shorts,
the shorts,
yeah.
Okay. So
So sorry. So the commitment part came just when I started everything. I didn't know how far I was going to go. But at the time, the idea sounded good. So I was talking to my cousin in Kentucky, Jimmy. I shared the idea with him. He was like, man, you've been creative for as long as I've known you. I don't know how you got that creative side of you. I don't know how you learned how to do Photoshop, how to actually be that creative, but you had it in you since we were kids. So I definitely always see you doing something like this. I was like, okay, so that's one person believing in me. So just me and him going back and forth for like a month straight. I would work on like different concepts, send it to him. He would give me his opinion. Hey, this is not bad. Hey, maybe you should do this or do that. So that first month, from me doing those sketches, and then that following month, I ended up start studying about different method of printing. Now, I could have reached out to like a manufacturer to do everything for me, but I was like, no. I want to learn it all by myself. I want to learn the ins and out about it. So the following month, I was just watching videos. I would be up until like 3 or 4 in the morning watching different videos. At the time, I was on paternity leave from Wells Fargo. And the beauty about Wells Fargo, they give you 4 months.
Yeah. I got 4 months.
So I use that 4 months to my advantage, whenever my wife and my son go to sleep. By the way, my wife, she's amazing. My number one supporter. And she's just wonderful. So whenever they would fall asleep, I would be up until like 3, 4 in the morning, just watching YouTube videos, reading different stories of different brand and different manufacturers and etc. I ended up falling into the loophole of learning about Patagonia and the story of Patagonia and how it started and everything. That I ended up finding more interest on, okay, I want to make things on my own. I don't want someone else to make it. So once I learned a different method of printing, I ended up ordering a small heat press and then like different DTFs. And then I just tried it on the T-shirts and see what it looked like. I did that. I sent it out to Jimmy in Kentucky, my cousin. So he gave me the feedback, and he was like, hey, you got you something in your hand. Now, how you actually take advantage of this and make it something is up to you right now, but the gift is there. The possibility is endless. There is so much potential in this. You need to focus. And whatever it is that you do, don't let anyone discourage you. But this is a masterpiece. So keep working on it. Once he told me that, I knew I was committed in.
Commitment, okay.
Yeah.
And
the dedication part is now I had to learn, okay, now that I am fully committed to doing this, who's going to do my printing? Where am I going to find, those T-shirts? So now I had to learn the different types of fabrics, learning different fabrics, different manufacturers, and different blank T-shirts brand, which one I want to use, which one that resonate with my brand identity more than anything. That was the most difficult one because I tried T-shirts like with Gildan and etc. It didn't work with me. Yeah, I was such a rookie. It was bad.
Anvil, Gildan. Come on, I went through them all.
It was bad.
Canvas.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Which Canvas is a good shirt. I like
Canvas is good. Yeah. I just don't like Canvas.
2001.
I don't like it. It's too light for me.
Okay, but it's stretchy though.
It is stretchy, but it's too light.
Okay.
I like to be comfortable in what I wear.
Right.
And I feel like whatever it is that I put out, it's something that I would wear comfortably.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell something that I wouldn't be comfortable wearing.
Right. Right.
So, so to go back to like learning different fabrics and learning about the different resource of finding the right wholesaler, finding the right brand that I can get blanks from. That was difficult. But I was able to like finally put my hands on 1301 American Apparel just by watching YouTube.
Yeah.
So, and then the patience comes in when I finally launched everything, right? The first couple of weeks, the first hoodie that I did in this January, is sold out quick, right? It's like, cool, this is awesome. I like this. 2 months later, I did another hoodie, and that sold out. I was like, oh, I like this.
Right.
So, and not knowing this is just the beginning, right? So when summer started, I started doing T-shirts. Oh, that's when the struggle kicked in. When I started doing the T-shirts, the first month and a half, I didn't sell a single shirt. Now, if I wasn't committed and dedicated, I think I would have gave up.
Right. Yeah. Possibly. Yeah.
There were times I did few pop-up shops. I did a pop-up shop in June. This was at a basketball tournament. You probably heard of it, the Score for Your tournament.
Yeah.
So during that tournament in June, I had a pop-up shop. Mind you, the night before, I was up all night preparing these T-shirts. I'm excited. Ooh, I cannot wait, to release this new concept, this new idea, this new design of T-shirts. Everyone's going to love it. Most likely I'm going to sell out. It's going to be a lot of youth there that might, connect well with it. Man, the day of the tournament came. I set up the pop-up shop and everything. The first 2 hours, not a single sale. 2 hours and a half, I sold two T-shirts only. And that was it for the whole pop-up shop. Mind you, I had at least 70 T-shirts or 80 T-shirts, I only sold 2. Man, I was I wouldn't say heartbroken. I think that's when everything tested my patience and my commitment. And that following day on Sunday, I woke up, I was just down. So I reached out to Ahmed Musa from Musa Lemonade. Great brother, by the way. Amazing. You should definitely hit him up.
Yeah, I know him.
So I reached out to him and I was just venting to him about how everything went the day before and how I'm kind of questioning everything, if it's even worth it or not. It was like, listen, man, the possibility is endless. you can end it by making a decision of giving up. But that if you do that, you will never understand how far it could have went. You would never know how far your concept or your idea would go.
Right, that's true.
It's like maybe you need to come up with a different strategy. You need to maybe shift your target audience. When he said that, I was like, you know what? That makes a good point. So after that conversation, he was like, you know what? There is going to be a DSM vintage shop at the fleece market.
Mm-hmm.
You should look into it. So he sent me the link. I looked at it. I was like, these are all vintage stuff. But in a sense, I can see it kind of resonate with Divergent Family.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the concept. And then especially just seeing 1990, that connects with it.
Yeah.
So he was like, this was after the deadline for the application. He was like, apply. I was like, dude, I think it's after the deadline. He was like, go ahead, apply for it. Don't worry. I submitted my application. I think it was a couple of days later. They was like, oh, you're approved. I was like, wait, what? So when they said you were approved, I was like, awesome. Now I have to be prepared for this pop-up shop. But the beauty of it, I didn't have to print so many T-shirts anymore because I already have the T-shirt left over.
Right. You had that fresh inventory.
Yeah. So I have all these inventories sitting. I was like, awesome. So now I had to find a tent. I don't have a tent. This is my first pop-up shop outdoor. I've never done that before. No experience. So I'm reaching out to everyone that I know. Hey, do you have a tent that I can borrow? Do you have, a table that I can borrow, and etc. One of my coworkers at the time at Wells Fargo, his name is Ahmed. No, his name is Amir, and he's from Pakistan. Great dude. It was like, you know what? Actually, I do have one, and let me know when you want to come pick it up. So, which that saved me so much money. I was planning on spending money to buy a new tent. Money that I don't have. Mm-hmm. I'm already in the hole for not selling those T-shirts, right? So, but no, so Ahmed was like, yeah, I have one. You can come get it, but it's a bit old. I went to his house, picked it up, used that. So the day of the pop-up shop, I had to be there at like 5 a.m. I was not prepared for everything at all. I was like, you know what? If I sell, that's good. If I don't, it is what it is. But I ended up meeting great people at that DSM vintage shop. I ended up selling about at least half of what I have already in stock. Mm-hmm. That changed my entire perception of everything. And from that day, I was like, you know what? Maybe sometimes things doesn't happen in a way that I wanted because whatever God have in store for me is probably bigger than what I'm trying to actually make from it. Mm-hmm. So it did test my patience, but thank to Ahmed really saved me on that one. And ever since, I think now I found my target audience and I know who I'm basically creating everything that fits in with perfectly well instead of me chasing after everyone, because every brand owner, when they first start, they want to touch everyone. They're like, oh, I want to make something for everybody. It doesn't work like that. Right.
You gotta have that target market. Yeah.
You gotta learn the target audience.
Yeah.
And at first I struggled with that, but if it wasn't for Ahmed, I think I would still be struggling with it till this day, but yeah.
Yeah. So what's ahead now? What's ahead for your apparel line? Where you see it going?
Man, to be honest, every day that I'm building I connect with more people.
Yeah.
For example, connecting with someone like you.
Yeah, yeah.
I never thought that I would be sitting here having this conversation with you,
Right.
but I just want to I want to build it to where I'm able to build a platform that will bring people from like different background, people with different story to share their background, their story, their differences, and then everyone celebrate with them. I wanted us all to celebrate together. And the concept that I have in mind, the platform that I really want to do, title it "Different is Authentic."
Different is authentic. Okay.
That I think that would be my my number one target beyond just like the clothing brand.
Right.
So, but we'll see that in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because right now, being a one-man show,
Right.
it's not a joke.
And we talked about that.
Yeah.
Different examples.
So
I know
sometimes,
how it is.
sometimes when I'm being asked like, "Oh, so what do you see it 5 years from now?" I'm like, brother, man, let me see it till next week first,
for real.
because
It's a grind.
it is a grind, and it's nonstop.
Yeah, for real.
You know,
Even just thinking about it.
it's nonstop.
Right,
It just, being like the creative director, being the main one that's designing everything, doing the production,
Right.
doing the marketing, doing the social media, communication, and inventory, all just one person.
Yeah.
It gets draining.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So what's after listening to you, what are some words of advice you would give to any age entrepreneur? And you can look in the camera.
To be honest, when you're doing something, do it for the love and passion. Don't think about the money, because if you think about the money, you're going to fall short within the first 6 months. That money is not going to come. But when you do it for love, you're not even focusing on what money that you're making and what money that you're not making, because it's something coming from the heart. So anything that you do it out of passion and out of love.
You know what? I like that. So we gonna have another question now, or words of encouragement. What would you say to any age immigrants coming to the U.S.? What are some words of encouragement you would give immigrants? Knowing, all that's going on, knowing what you experience, the good and the bad, knowing that you can make it, you will make it here. But what are some words of encouragement would you give to immigrants?
Words of encouragement.
And this is for immigrants that are trying to, figure out their way here.
Okay. So, the word of encouragement would definitely be, one, accept the fact that you're different. Regardless it is that you're going to do, whatever it is that you decide to do, you're going to be the odd one in the room. And being the odd one in the room take you out of your comfort zone. So never settle for comfort. Be the odd one in the room and always be in uncomfortable places. That will get you far. And that's one thing that I had to learn actually from my wife, because I'm one of those people that if I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to be there. But not knowing that, I was cutting myself short.
Cutting yourself short.
So accept the fact that you are different, and always, always be in uncomfortable places.
Yeah.
Don't settle for comfort. Comfort is going to be the end of your dreams.
Yeah. And just kind of, what you touched on earlier as far as your company, being different is great. It's a blessing being different.
It is. It is. A lot of people that I myself especially, I know that for a fact, like my early 20s, I'm 34, but I'll be 35 this year. In my early 20s, one thing that I struggled with the most was trying to fit in places that I didn't belong. That didn't get me far in life. And over time, once I realized that, I try to encourage a lot of kids like, hey, whatever it is that you're into, stick to it. Do not leave it behind just because your friends are doing something else and you want to be around your friends. No, just stick to what it is that you're into and you will see how far it'll get you.
Okay. Now, before I forget, and I had an after-school class yesterday. Shout out to CFUM, Children, Family, and Urban Movement at Moulton Elementary, doing great things. But I have an after-school program there, and two of the workers that helped me out during my class is Mackie.
Yeah.
And let me see, Mackie.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? And I'm gonna say this on air, man. There are some genuine, great guys. Man.
Yes.
Great guys. And you know what? I told Mackie yesterday. I said, Mackie, I'm gonna interview Demitry tomorrow. He's like, you know what? That's a good guy. I love that guy. He said, you know what? Keep doing. But he mentioned as far as seeing Peter's interview too. But he had nothing but great things to say about you. But I want to encourage people in Iowa to really tap into the Sudanese community, really tap in, really get to know the Sudanese community, because you guys have a huge community here, and it's just how you mentioned as far as, and I mentioned this to Easy, the previous after school program last week, class, but how there's 12 different tribes, Sudanese and tribes, right? And there's 12 different languages.
No. 12.
12?
It's 64.
64. I thought when we met it was 12.
No, it's 64 different tribes.
Tribes, but how many different languages? I thought it was 12 different languages.
Put it this way, every tribe have its own language and own dialect.
Okay. But that's something that I learned just by interacting with you and you giving me info and with Easy as well. But all that to say is there's a lot of rich culture in all cultures, but why not get to know and really connect with the Sudanese community out here?
I'm telling you.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. One person that's really like tapped into our community like that is Pastor Brown.
Yep.
Pastor Brown is very well known within our community. And
you go hear about Do the Math too. No, but I understand. I know. I've met him before. Yeah.
Yeah, and the beauty of it in Iowa too, a lot of the Sudanese community here, especially the younger generation, they found their own path. They built their own way. A lot of people do not know this. We have a real estate agent. Her name is Shola. I think she's like one of the first South Sudanese real estate agent.
You want to give her a shout out real quick?
Oh yeah, shout out to Ashul, the real estate agent. Make sure you follow her, and if you're looking for a house, tap in with her.
Yeah. And that's any community.
Yes.
So she's anyone. Let me
the younger generation, we have another apparel business, Forest Brothers with J Cat.
Okay.
And another apparel business that's also South Sudanese in Iowa that's doing well as well. It's Narrow Way.
Okay. Any restaurants or anything? You might as well let's seriously. If you know of any, let's.
I'm trying to
name drop
all of them. It's going to be hard to keep up.
Okay. All right.
Narrow Apparel is by my sister Awal. Mm-hmm. She's someone that I actually mentored her about how to start her apparel, because when she was trying to start, she was hesitant, but Narrow is a Christian faith-based apparel. Okay. So, but yeah, a lot of the South Sudanese here in Des Moines are different, especially the younger generation are different than the older generation. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people haven't come to understand or realize. They still believe that the Sudanese community in Iowa or in Des Moines, it's like the older generation. No, things have changed.
Right.
And these younger generation, they have amazed me.
Yeah.
Seeing, like, for example, Peter making the Iowa G League team.
Come on.
Yeah,
and we talked about him on the podcast.
Yeah, and recently another younger brother of ours, his name is Kong. He also tried out for the Iowa G League.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're waiting to hear back.
Okay, yeah.
And we were all there supporting him. And then we have Musa Lemonade.
Musa Lemonade. Shout out to Musa Lemonade.
They're
everywhere.
So, the Sudanese community, it's finally, I feel like Iowa being our base. And fun topic that not a lot of people know about it. The founding father of South Sudan, Dr. John Garang, he actually graduated from Iowa State.
You did mention that when we talked. Okay. Yeah.
And the beauty of it, that's my wife's great uncle. So we have all that history within the family, but the state of Iowa holds so much value to the South Sudanese community. During the Olympic, everyone was calling the South Sudanese team Iowa.
Right. Yeah, they were hooping too. Yeah, I remember that.
Peter Jog, he's from here.
Peter Jog, right.
So the state of Iowa means a lot to the South Sudanese community. Okay. So to see it slowly flourishing in this state, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
This is our capital from home, away from home.
Oh, away from home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out again to the Sudanese community in Iowa. So that's awesome. Okay. So for the last questions, so it's the Do the Math 24/7 question. So what is something you can add, subtract, and multiply, and by doing that would equal to what? This could be personally, this can be the community, but you have the mic.
Oh, I would say add creativity, subtract fear, multiply unity, equal to Divergent Family.
Here you go. Come on, that's branded, boy.
I've been waiting for you to ask me that. I was like, you know what? Before you even actually asked me to get into the show, I wrote it down. I was like, if one day I got into his podcast, when he asked me that question, I have it written down.
You got it written down.
So now it's memorized.
Come on. Yeah, that's the math equation. That's branded, man. That's a classic right there. That's going to be one of my top 10 for math equations on the podcast, man. That's probably going to be like top 5. But they're all good. But anyways, man, and I like it, the fact that I asked it as the last question, because it comes from the heart. It's just something that, a new way of looking at math, and just something that is actionable, and it's something that that's relatable. You know what I mean? And that's the whole just around our program too, is just a new way of looking at it, and that's something that we can do daily.
Right.
Now you want to quickly give your social media info. You can speak to the mic.
Definitely. So you can follow Divergent Family on Instagram at Divergent X Family. And I also own a printing apparel company.
Come on.
That's called Manny's Apparel Printing. And you can find that on Instagram also, Manny's AP515. Or you can also follow me on Instagram at Uncle Mitri.
Okay, you want to take off the hat real quick and kind of show it to the camera?
Oh yeah,
do a little zoom real
This
quick?
is still. I haven't released it yet.
Okay,
so
go ahead
this
and
is
do that
still
zoom.
brand. You see, this is still brand new. Divergent Family. One thing that a lot of people have yet to kind of understand the idea or the concept behind 1990. It's not just the year.
Mm-hmm.
So 1990 is basically a code.
Mm-hmm.
To anyone that follows Divergent Family,
Okay.
you know, and basically that code is one being the number one is stand for authenticity.
Okay.
Authentic,
Mm-hmm.
which starts with the letter A, the first letter in the alphabet, and then 9 is inclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
and then 9 again being individuality.
Okay.
And then the D is supposed to be a 0, but I add my own twist to it, just the creative side. That D stands for being determined.
Determined. I like that. Okay. Got a little code going on.
Yeah, so if you see that
No, that's nice,
1990 everywhere on my brand,
Yeah.
it's not just the year, it's a
Right.
code
It's
that
a
I
code.
live by on a
Okay.
daily basis, and I want everyone to live by.
Okay, you want to show the shirt real quick, and then you got the canvas. You want to show that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, before we leave, this
Okay,
is my
okay.
gift for you. I've been holding on to this for you.
Oh, okay.
It is
okay.
the
We'll go
last
back
one.
there. Look at that, y'all. Look at the bag in that, huh? Okay. Man, I like this bag, man. I could just sport this bag. I'm gonna start putting some of my do the math stuff in there with the kids so they can see that. So
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Oh, here you go. Oh wow. Look at this.
Everything is made at home.
Everything, even
designed
the
by me.
pen and
Yeah.
everything. Wow, this is awesome. And this is a hoodie.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you was gonna hook me up with a T-shirt, brother. You give me hoodies. Well, I didn't know you was gonna hook me up with anything, but normally, you giving out promotional stuff is T-shirts, but you giving me a hoodie, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, it's all love, man.
Yeah, we show this one more time. So let's definitely support this great man and his mission beyond Des Moines, worldwide. Let's support him. Divergent Family. Good to have you, brother.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Good to have you, man.
Thank
It was great coffee talk. I love
yeah.
what you're doing. Thank you for sharing more as far as your history, a little bit about you, your story on the Sudanese community, and what's ahead. So I'm excited,
It's
man.
endless. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I really appreciate this opportunity. And
Absolutely.
I also appreciate what you do for the community, what you do to the kids, and the message. The message is so beautiful.
Thank
So
you, brother.
thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
I know the Sudanese community,
Yeah.
they very well informed of you already.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll be surprised. Like, it's just words of mouth.
Words of mouth. Yeah.
So Peter started it,
Mm-hmm.
and with Peter, if you have any network with Peter, he's pretty much knows everyone.
Knows everyone.
And
Okay.
then your name is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you up next, man. Hey, you're doing great things, man. And I appreciate it. And it's all love, man. At the end of the day, that's what we should do. We're all community-based, trying to help each other out. So
Absolutely.
appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you all again for tuning in for Do the Math 24/7's Math Talk. You can catch me Instagram and Facebook at Do the Math 24/7. My website is 101math247.com, and my LinkedIn is at Kenny Lilly. Last name Lilly, Lilly. Again, thank you for tuning in to Math Talk. And remember, do the math 24/7.